Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Online League. On to play for game number 1 of match 1. Hand was not keepable. This hand is really awkward and also just not keepable. Like a 7 drop, a talisman, hand would have been perfect, but that's not the case. Down to 5. Down to 4. I feel like I've been mulliganing a lot more, and I don't know why. I'd have to actually look. I wonder what the statistics are, and I can probably ask Thinker if they have the stats before and after the BNR, if I'm mulliganing more, but I feel like I am. We'll go down to 4. This hand will have to suffice. Still not good though. Jesus. Might go spawn, Karn, keep the whale thought knot. Hope we draw into a 7 drop. But even that won't really do too much, will it? Like it's still like a turn 3 thought knot. Yeah, it's not good. It is not good. I'm trying to think of why it feels this way. The main difference being maybe there is some credence to removing the warping whales. As much as I think that they're really beneficial, the lack of 7 mana value plus spells might be causing what I'm feeling. But then again, I haven't been seeing, like, the times where I want the Ugin's Lab, I haven't been seeing the warping whales alongside of it, which would have been the main, like, it would have been the main difference. So I still would have probably mulliganed those hands. I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about it. Need either a land or a 7 drop. That is neither. We'll play the lab. And then pass the turn. Blue-red would suggest, is it Murktide or Splinter Twin? If I do play the Warping Whale on end step and do find the land after we draw, do we play the Thought Knot or the Mystic Forge is the question. I want to say the Thought Knot, less likely to get hit by a force. And it gets pressure on board, which we need. This is Teamer. Okay, not what I thought we were playing against. Question is Teamer what? What's this deck's goal? Because normally when we're seeing things like Ren and 6, it's usually running, whatchamacallit, Faithless Looting. Need a land desperately. Okay, well that's a land. Not the best land to find, but it is a land. Let's get a better sense of what we're playing against, as well as apply pressure to the board. No, I don't want X, I want hand. Delighted Halfling, Endurance. So this is a, at the very least, 4C. I mean, you're going to have enough. Actually, will you? No, you'll be short on the ending. So we think about taking the binding. Will you be short? No. It will be 2 mana for binding. The problem is the grist will make a blocker. So you have to take the binding. At least make them work for it. Definitely not looking good for us, but we're not out yet. Wooded Foothills, Crack. Imagine they're gonna bring that back though. Temple Gardens. Yep, bringing back the Foothills. There's the Halfling. another halfling. So they're gonna have the ability to play Grist. I guess it's actually 5C. Land would be good. Devour is not. You are like 3 turns too late. Well, we have to go after Ren. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The unfortunate truth is that Thought-Knot is going to die this turn regardless. They can either... I guess they can't Prismatic Ending. But they can Grist, sacrifice the Halfling. Or just make a blocker, honestly. I don't really see why they need to sacrifice it right now. Creating like, the Thought-Knot Seer by itself really is doing nothing. They could just keep on ticking up, and they'd be fine. So I feel like it's an aggressive play where they could otherwise not. We're short on mana. We're in a rough spot. But the more information we get about our opponent's deck, the better. Okay, land would be awesome. That is not a land. Yeah, I think we'd have played Karn there most likely. Actually, guess what would I have even grabbed with Karn? I guess, well, I can't. I had Oblivion Stone and Decide. The problem is that the Prismatic Ending would have been able to exile it. So that alone doesn't cut it. We'd have to make sure that we have enough mana, 8 to be exact, to cast and activate it. And it's looking less and less likely that we're gonna win this. Alright, like I said, we'll just keep on learning more about our opponent's deck. At least that way we know what to anticipate for game 2 and 3. Okay. Strange that they put our graveyard back. Okay, Bolt. Not the normal elemental package that I was expecting. Though I imagine this is probably running Green Sun Zenith for both Grist and Renin 6. But yeah, as I continue to play this and just feel like I'm mulliganing more, in which I can ask Thinker to actually take a look at the data to see if that is the case, I might think about cutting the Warping Whales. There's the Omnath. This is 5C Elementals, or 5C Omnath. I might consider bringing back another 7 mana value spell and a Talisman. Oh, there's the mine. 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, 11. Is that right? 2, 5, 6, 10, 11. Yes. So we're not dead. I think our only saving grace is to cast Karn, grab Oblivion Stone, and we need to draw into an Urza's Tower. If we can do that, then we might be able to rally back. But I'm not hopeful for that potential outcome. All at me. Yep, that makes sense. Down to 2, down to 1. Oh, they had another Ren. Yep, that we'll get there. So 5C Elementals. Lost in game 1. Go to game 2. As far as sideboard is concerned, I'm expecting Green Sun Zenith in here. Maybe Faithless Looting as well, given it pretty much should be played hand in hand with Ren. Something Dismembers. I think Maybe the leveler wouldn't be bad. So cut the Mega Spawn, cut an All Is Dust. Sent that to my wish list and not to my sideboard. Actually, now realizing that the chalices aren't doing much here. So let's actually cut all the chalices and bring in the might. I think this is correct, and what I think falls in line with what my sideboard guide is. Omnath, cut for chalice, Haywire Might, Dismember, Leveler. Yeah, that is correct. Always good to have access to a guide to confirm your thoughts on what to do, especially with the meta still being so turbulent. On to play for game number 2. Hand is not keepable. Yeah, and like that last hand, that whale being a talisman wouldn't have made it keepable. This hand is equally not keepable. Well, that is Tron, so we will keep it. How do we want to order this, though? I think we drop the Thought Knot, as well as the Tower. We're going to rely on Kozilek's Command. A Talisman for the green source, because we're inevitably going to find Mega Spawn, World Breakers, etc. Our only real fear here is going to be Beseiju if they brought in Obsidian Charmaw. Those will be the main concerns. I guess Damping Sphere as well is a real possibility. Eldrazi Temple. Not really what I was hoping to see. I need to find some action. Consign a memory? Okay, so they are also running Consign. I mean, I'm not upset by seeing that used on a talisman. Would have been nice to add that green source, but I'd rather see it now than when we cast Kozilek's Command. Let's actually go ahead and clear the way for this Kozilek's Command with Thought Knot Seer. Okay, that is good to see. One less Consign. The question is whether or not we cast this Kozilek's Command on my next turn on their end step. I think we have to play it on next time. Ren. Yes. This is actually kind of curious. I'm really tempted to strip that out of their graveyard because that might be the only fetchable they have. And if we can cut them off of mana, that should allow me to get back into this. If they have no other lands, that'll be perfect. The power of Ren is just the fact that it guarantees their land drop every single turn. Dust isn't bad, but it's not great either. Let's bottom that. I swear, MTGO has not been up for long. Not sure why it's being so laggy. Okay, no other lands, so that was the right move. It was a gamble, but it's going to work out in our favor. And with them being tapped out, this command is huge. Let's go ahead and cast it. This will be X equals 8. Done. They would need a force. Down the Ugin's lab. I would like this Mega Spawn But we want that at the bottom of the stack. Leveler's good, Devour's good, Ulamog is good. Yeah, so let's go Devourer, Devourer. Leveler, Ulamog, Karn. Cast Karn. What are you most worried about right now? The Seiju who endures? Probably. Right now we know that they're short on lands. Trinisphere might be the play. This guarantees they won't be able to play anything next turn. Even discounted, it won't matter. If they play a Beseiju, it's not the end of the world. Frustrating, but not the end of the world. We'll pass. Ren can ping down the spawn. But as long as Trinisphere stays in board and we cast Ulamog, I think that locks them out of the game. Yep, that's fine. Sorry, friend. That is a-okay. I will not search. This helped out a lot because it got a Beseiju out, and it got them targeting the Trinisphere. So that actually worked out exactly as I hoped. Because now, the game should really be over. Actually, just want to be mana efficient. I want to get rid of their white source to ensure that they can't play a binding. But that will be that. It's a bit of gamble using the Trinisphere as bait for the Beseiju, but I knew that if they would have Beseiju'd our lands, then they just would have been stuck underneath the Trinisphere indefinitely. Bit of a gamble, but it worked out. If they didn't have the Beseiju, then we just closed out the game with Ulamog. But on the draw for game number 3. This hand is interesting. We'll keep it. Xander's Lounge. Dismember. This Alzdus might prove interesting, depending on their early plays. Lighted Halfling, I'm tempted to dismember that. I think that is right. I mean, it's always right to bolt the bird. Do you want to be mindful that Xander's Lounge does produce blue mana? So we need to be mindful of a consigned memory. See what they play before we play this command. There's Ren. Let's once again try and rob them of value. I think they're playing smarter this time, knowing that I'll do this. Okay, I did target them both. Good. I'm going to expect a consign here. Yep, there's a consign. They played smarter this time. Played a turn slower because of it. That was the right move. Well, let's go ahead and play Allah's, or not Allah's Dust, but imprint Allah's Dust. And get Mystic Forge out. I really cannot play that right now, so let's exile the Mycospawn as much as I would love to have it. That is Tron for what it's worth, but not exactly good timing for it. I'd rather see something else. You can crawl into my lap if you want better, but you cannot step on the keyboard. This is going to be a grist. Yep. This All's Dust would be really nice now. Huh. Might be more of a reason to keep this tower, but I'm going to exile it. Need to find some action. The Talisman's actually really good. And a Thought-Knot Seer too. Well, let's go with mine. The problem is I can't play both. I can either play the Thought-Knot Seer or the Sowing Mycospawn. I think the Mycospawn might be more important here. Because it's a kicked Mycospawn and it gets us to Tron, allowing us to then Allah's Dust next turn. Let's get rid of the Xander's Lounge. A Mycospawn on top, that's not bad. Next turn is an Allah's Dust, as long as they don't interact with our lands. Okay, get rid of the Sowing Mycospawn, that's fine. Not exactly upset by that. Yeah, Ren 6 is kind of a messed up card when you really think about it. What are you playing? Omnath. Yep, that is a-okay. You need a blue source. Wait, why would they not play? That's odd. I feel like that was a misplay on their part. How much mana do I have right now? Well, let's play the plan for one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12. 12 minus 3 is 9, so that's fine. Let's see. Let's make sure we use the Eldrazi mana first. They have 2 white, 2 red, all green. Get rid of the blue. Got the tower. Mine's on top, not really doing much. Let's Mystic Forge. Devourer. What's your alt? 7? I mean, we could Devourer, but I think it's right to all his dust here. Pass. Yeah, I think we've locked up the game now. It's going to be extremely hard for them to deal with Mystic Forge. They'd have to dedicate an entire turn to dealing with it. And they'll specifically need a prismatic ending. Flage. That's fine. Let's exile the mine. A Karn would be ideal, but no dice, it would seem. They are going to play the Flage, which is a tiny bit problematic, though not the end of the world. Yeah, I feel like Flage is going to see a lot of play and have a high meted percentage. It just is a very good card. What? Well, this confuses me. Well, let's go ahead and play the Might. Actually, should really be playing the using the Eldrazi Temple mana for Thought Knot. Okay, so no consigned memories. But why fetch there? Solitude. What are we targeting? The Thought Knot? The Devour. That's okay. Well, we'll get rid of the Green Sun Zenith. We'll go ahead and play the Talisman. I mean, my life total was what I was most concerned about here. So I'm kind of thankful for that Solitude, to be honest. Here's the Dryad Arbor. Here comes the Flage. Imagine you go after the Might. Not sure though. Targets? You do go after the Might after all. Well, we'll go ahead and target the Talisman and pay the green. That way you don't gain life. Alright, activate the Forge. Oof. Well, we'll play the Warping Whale. Create a 1/1. There's the Devour to get rid of that Flage. Yeah, ever since the last update, the client has been really rough. Come on, trying to pay for mana here. There we go. Exile the Flage. Let's play Karn. What's an exile? Anything of note? Not really. And opponent will concede. Alright, all of that being said, I'll be back in just a bit for match number 2. Alright, we are back for match number 2 on the draw for game 1. This hand would have been great with a lab. I mean, we could try and high roll it, but I don't think it's worth it. I mean, we could. Like, Devour allows me to keep hands that I shouldn't. But also, they're better 6-card hands. So I'm looking at. There's a good example of them. So we'll drop the Power Plant. Keep Whale Command, 2 Devours, and 2 Labs. I reset MTGO and it's still struggle bussing right now. Jeez. No, it's not my connection. At least I don't think it is. I guess I could try something. This looks like energy if I had to wager, I guess. Thought Not Seer's not bad. Yeah, let's go with Thought Not Seer. And Chalice on 1's also not bad, but I think we keep the Seer. Alright, to draw step, Ugin's Lab, we're going to imprint Devourer. And then we're going to hold up Whale to see what they cast. Okay. So it's Mardu Energy. And Johnny. Well, let's go ahead and exile the Guide of Souls. So it actually may have been my Wi-Fi connection after all. I just got it to be wired, and it is seemingly, for the moment, better. I want to hold that all as dust. But I think I want to go ahead and exile this to Johnny now. I think it's usually best to play at sorcery speed when dealing with Johnny. Moments like this where I find that Warping Whale definitely overperforms. This matchup, though, is so rough. It's why I have recently added Oblivion Stone to the side. Because when I was casting Karn on turn 2 and there were creatures on board, there wasn't anything good to really pick. But I think Oblivion Stone is a good alternative to the One Ring. It's not the greatest solution, but it is a solution to clear board, because that is one of the most important things in this matchup. Oof. Not what I wanted to see. A green source would be nice. Why not attack? Odd. Well, there's a Johnny. Do you have the elegant... Oh, not elegant parlor. Do you have the discharge? Do you have a goblin bombardment? Yeah, there's bombardment. That is a problem. Because you can start getting rid of the Eldrazi spawns. Yeah, that's what I figured. And I can't really do anything about that. Not in the slightest. I need lands. I think ideally I need a talisman. Well, I guess no, a green source. So we can play as Mycospawn. Karn is good. And we'll do exactly what I said I was going to do. I think in this case the Oblivion Stone is key, but we'll need one land for it. I guess we could go Engine Explosive on 0, but that doesn't really solve the problem. So yeah, I think Oblivion Stone is the way to go. We'll need one more land. Play it next turn, play a land, and then clear board. Karn will die, I imagine, from the 0 from a Johnny. We'll take 4 down to 14. We had a theoretical 11. I think that we might end up losing before I can actually activate this Oblivion Stone's the problem. Because they're going to have me down to a theoretical 11. Really down to 14. Down to 8. Down to 5. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so herein lies the problem now. They can plus on a Johnny. Yep, I think we're going to be a turn too late. Because they should see the line, because they have the win on board, but I'll make sure that they see it before I concede. Because all they need to do now is just plus on a Johnny, attack, and then bombardment, because that's 8, 12. I mean, yeah. That's 8 alone. Yep, you got it. I mean, yeah, I guess either ways would have been fine. Dang. Just a few lands short, unfortunately. Oh, let's bring in the dismembers, as per usual. Got the Mycospawns. Main thing we're worried about, of course, is Dampening Spheres, Obsidian Charmals, and the like. Stony Silence isn't... Like, it definitely is interaction, but not as bad, since we no longer play the One Ring. Mystic Forge kind of gets around that drawback, so it's not as concerning in the grand scheme. But we're on the play for game 2. This hand has Natural Tron. We'll keep it. Dampening Sphere will feel bad, however. Turn 2, we can play Chalice. Turn 3, we're on Karn. Arid Mesa, crack it. If they do play the Guided Souls, we'll dismember it off the bat. Ocelot Pride. Still tempted to dismember it, honestly. Because it just grows out of control way too quickly. I think we're fine, though. I'll hold back on dismembering it. Especially with us going to play Chalice on 2, it means that the risk of a second Ocelot Pride is pretty minimal, if not non-existent. So I think this is better. And I think then we devour the Ocelot Pride. Interesting. No other plays, no lands. That is a strange keep. They must have something worthwhile. Chant does nothing, friend. Yeah, that still gets countered. What else do you have, then? I mean, Damping Sphere would be concerning, but not the end of the world. So I think we just go ahead and play the Devourer, get rid of this Pride. Because even if they were to cast Damping Sphere, we still can play Karn Thought Knot. Yeah, that was a strange hand for them to keep. We'll run it back just the same, no changes. Oh, you okay? Alright. On the draw for game 3. Hand's interesting. I'll keep it. Reveal Devourer. We're hoping for a lab, and then after a lab, we're hoping for a temple. There's the lab. We'll hold up this Warping Whale. You should attack before playing something. Yep, that is smart. I think they figured out that's always right to attack first with Guided Souls, because I'd rather see them play whatever they're going to play before I get rid of it. Well, this seems very reminiscent of game 1. Not sure how to feel about that. Because once again, we're going to be playing at sorcery speed to get rid of a Johnny. But we do have Chalice's backup here. Ooh, and another Eldrazi Temple thereafter. That's kind of fascinating. One more. And then Chalice on 1. Next turn we'll play a Thought Knot Seer. And a turn after that we should be able to get Devourer on board. Sacred Foundry. This feels like a Flage if I had to wager a guess. No, Obsidian Charmal. That is rough. Oh boy. Well, this Thought Knot will help, but we're currently at the mercy of this Charmal then. Guess what I need now is probably a Kozilek's Command. Static Prison, can't do much. This Pyromancer is kind of annoying, though. Because it can pitch Flage and draw them cards, and I really need them not to draw cards right now. Reflage kind of just sits in the yard. We'll take 3. We'll be down to 10. Ugh. For each non-land card discarded this way. Yikes. Yeah, I guess we have to take the Flage. Don't like it. But I think it's the right move. We need as much time as possible to be able to rally back. That Charmal really hurt things. Yep, there's the Pyro. Pitching Static Prison. And Thoughtseize. Yeah. Okay, so I've only found one real card. That's one card on top of their library, though. Don't like that. Yep, Charmal will attack. Oof. Not what we want to be seeing right now. What do we even want to find, honestly? Kozilek's command would help, but wouldn't really stop the bleeding. Just help us dig for answers. I mean, I guess a command into a dust would be nice. That's 6, 8. That's concerning. Block the cat. 5. And they have lethal on board now. Destiny's short. Damn. Damn. Yeah, if we had another temple, another 7-drop for the lab, it would have made a lot of difference, but unfortunately, just not going to be able to make it work. Alright, well, with that being said, we'll be back in a bit for match number 3. Alright, on the play for match number 3. This hand's interesting. I'll keep it. Not fantastic, but not horrible either. It is Tron on turn 4. Yeah? Swing Mycospawn on 3, Tron on 4, kick Mycospawn on 4, and or a Kozilek's command. Thoughtseize, Inquisition. Well, that's going to hit the Kozilek's command. Not ideal, but not the end of the world either. World Breaker, I like it. Flaming Marsh makes me feel like it might be Yawgmoth. Could be the Rock. Could be Yogg. I imagine they're grabbing a... was it Mortuary? No, Overgrown Tombs. They have something to play here. Oh. What? Is this Lantern Control? Holy hell, this is Lantern Control. I was not expecting that. This is gonna get interesting now, ain't it? I mean, thankfully what we have in our hands is gonna disrupt them pretty heavily. You're allowing me to draw the talisman? Okay. Let's go ahead and name Eldrazi. Let's go ahead and shuffle up. And let's grab a power plant. I mean, thankfully we can get rid of the lantern for what it's worth. But we probably want to get rid of the Pixis. Okay. How much mana I'm going to have next turn? 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. 10 minus 3. We won't have enough because it would be 10 minus 5. We'd have 5 mana. Yeah, so I can't kick. We'll have to instead just go for the breaker. Push isn't doing much. Cage. Yeah, so we really want to get rid of the Pixis? That's a Thoughtseize, that'd be a problem. We're fine. Yep, Lantern's still fine. Oh, fascinating. 2... No, I wouldn't have enough. So we just need to get threats on board. Let's see here. 4, 2, 4. Yes, so let's go. Actually, 4, 2, 4, 6, 6, 9. Yes, we will be able to. Oh, I guess I can't play off the top. I'm thinking of other things. But yes, I can play a Mega Spawn not kicked. Then grab a tower. Play a talisman. Then play breaker. Get rid of the Pixis. Unless you find a bridge, we're in a very good spot. Alright, let's see what you got, friend. So this is Golgari Lantern Control. Well, there's the bridge. That does make things a tad awkward. You have the land, though, to play it? Oh yeah, you do have the opal. Right. Well, let's go ahead and play the power plant. They're going to need something to actually deal with my board, though. Thoughtseize ain't going to do it. They should know I have the forest in hand. Apparently they forgot that I have the forest in hand. One card in hand. I just need to find enough good cards and we're fine. Well, there's Dust. Dust is not doing much, unfortunately. Maybe it would have been good to pocket the breaker for when they eventually find the bridge. It also risks them finding a Thoughtseize, I suppose. But then again, breaker would have been engraved. Yeah, maybe we should have held on the breaker. But then there's also the argument that we just want to raise him to the bottom. Myco spawn. I mean, I guess this will let me get rid of some lands for what it's worth. Saga, so they're going to go for Saga Beats. That funny thing is they really can't do that because of Breaker. They need to be very careful here, because if they can't exile Breaker, I'm just going to bring it back every single turn. So they do need to be very careful in that regard. Ooh, Kozilek's command's fantastic, but I don't imagine they let us keep that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make their life a bit more difficult. Make it so I have less dead cards in my deck. Botnot's here. Yeah, so how do you deal with Breaker? Because I feel like that and its recursion are going to be a real thorn in your side. Need some way to exile it. Otherwise, we're just going to pass back and forth until I just find what I need. You want me to have the Thought Knot? Another Thought Knot. Well, we'll just keep on playing cards. I will actually take that Pithy Needle. Because if we find Karn... Right now, without Pixis, they're kind of in a spot. Remind me, is it... It is a 1 mana spell. Take the push. So they'll be able to get Pixis for what it's worth. I mean, at this point, we're just going to have them burn the clock. Yeah, I'm not sure what their end game's going to be here. A, they need to get rid of their bridge. This is the problem with Lantern Control Moto 2, Codex Shredder. Return our card of graveyard to your hand. Okay. So I guess they'll slowly but surely mill me out, but even that is not a huge threat. Unfortunate to see temples, but we're running out of lands, quite literally. The other Codex Shredder does make it a bit more difficult for us to high roll into what we need. But their clock is less than mine. Well, there's a Devourer. Doesn't really do much for me, though. Okay. You'll want to get rid of that Mystic Forge. Uh-huh. Chalice ain't doing much here. There's like a Chalice on 1. It's okay. Like some Gardens will be good for you. Unfortunately, it's going to get shuffled up. Yeah, short of milling me out, I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Ugin Stirrings, we'll find the Mycosynth Gardens. Codex Shredder, okay. I'll play Codex Shredder. I mean, they now have basically 4 ways to ensure that I don't hit the cards I need. Hey, want to give me the Karn? That'd be good. Oh, actually. Chalice on 1, I suppose? Dust is doing absolutely nothing in my hand. Yeah, the only problem with this deck on Moto is the fact that you're likely to time out. Alright, they'll just give me the Talisman. Each player turns face up all cards they own exiled, then puts some permanent cards onto the battlefield. Another bridge, so I can't just get rid of one, I have to get rid of both. All his dust is doing nothing. Yeah, short of milling me out, I'm not sure what you do. The target player, each player, target player. So they are just going to try and mill me out at this point. They'll give me the Thought Knot Seer. What are my outs right now? I mean, Karn. I guess Kozilek's Command would be pretty good. Well, there's the Ulamog. I definitely wanted that. I got rid of Ulamog. Imagine they'll keep the Talisman. No, they're gonna go deeper. Okay. Devour does nothing. Give me the Power Plant. Okay, now they have 5. I mean, they're gonna get me down at this point, so I'm just burning time. Thoughtseize. Yeah, go ahead and Thoughtseize. Yeah, so maybe there was an argument to going Worldbreaker or holding Worldbreaker for when they eventually play the bridge. Would have liked that command. I'm running out of land, so eventually I'm going to find a pocket of nothing but gas, and if I can do that, then I win. I guess they give me a Chalice. No? Don't want to give me the Forge? No? Okay, they'll give me the plant. That is the safe choice. Another Mycosynth Gardens. Another land. Best to just keep that there, honestly. You do not want to give me the command. That much I can say with certainty. Best to just give me the land. There's the Forge. Giving me the Forge would be fantastic for me. No Forge for me, so they'll give me the land. Okay, well we're down to what, 2 turns at this point? Yeah, I think my saving grace is only Karn, but I think we're down to one of our last Karns. They'll have to be really careful about Breaker. Pixis will be actually really important in that regard. If they mill over Breaker, then they'll have a bit of trouble. Yeah, you should just give me the mine, and then it's over, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunate. Yep, you cannot give me the Karn. I think I'm out of cards at this point in time. Yep, and 0. Alright, Golgari, Lantern Control. So loss in game 1. Chalice is fantastic here. Leveler is still good. You know what actually is really good? Unironically so? Walking Ballista. All his dust is not great in the slightest. I think we do want the Stone Brains. Alright, let's run it back like this. Oblivion Stone's also really good. Yeah, an early Chalice on 1 would be very strong. Chalice on 0 is also good, with Opal and Bauble running around. They need to be mindful of time, though. If we push it to a game 3, they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should have done there. If just going after the Pixis and then attacking was right, but we're on the play for game 2. Risky hand. We'll mulligan this. Keep this. Drop the mine. Reveal Devourer. Having Mystic Forge on the field will be very strong for us. Reveal Devourer. I'd like a green source. Let's go Unity. And pass. And pass. Play the Talisman, and then play the Forge. I'm actually not sure outside of a Sage, which I didn't see how they're going to play around the Forge. Well, I guess Thoughtseize will do it. Go to Shredder. Okay. Bauble. Yep, you can see what's on top, so you're going to see the Talisman and then probably shred it. I guess that's what I'd imagine. You don't want the green source on the field. But you could also throw me something even better. Nope, Talisman out. Unfortunate. Doesn't really change our game plan much, I'll admit. Karn is fantastic. So change of plans then. We're going to be playing Karn instead of Forge. Saga. Bauble. Bauble me. Really, no Bauble. Odd. Okay, they do Bauble me after all. Do you shred? They will. Temple, that's fine. Well, friend, I think this is the worst thing you could see across from you. And Karn, the Great Creator. And to game 3 we go. Let's run it back as is. On the draw for game 2. Let's mulligan this. Jeez. Mulligan this. That is Tron. Keep this. Pass. Thoughtseize. You can't really let me keep either one of these. So if you have an Inquisition, then you want to take Forge now, take Command later. Ooh, interesting. Okay. That's a green source. That will help. Opal. Pithy Needle naming what? that doesn't do what I think you're hoping it does. Leveler is huge here. I'm tempted just to play the leveler and start trying to attack them down. I might hold it. Beseiju. Yeah, that will resolve. And we will grab a forest. This is not as bad as it could be, honestly. Like I said, naming Mystic Forge does not do as much as you think it does. Because I can still play off the top. Mycosynth Gardens isn't doing much. There's the bridge. I don't know if you have enough time to do this, though, to be honest. Oh, that's a power plant. Let's play the Talisman. And sorry to say, friend, but I think that's going to be that. Let's go ahead and... I think we just grab the Might, right? Though honestly, we could grab Ballista, and it'd be just as good. Yeah, I think we might actually grab Ballista. As funny as that is. Alternatively, you can grab Liquid Metal Coating and just start cutting them on sources. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to do so. I don't think they can really deal with Karn in a good way. If we're able to cast Mega Spawn as well, that'd be fantastic. I just need to get to Leveler. Yeah. Alright, good stuff. Well, with that being said, we'll be back in just a bit for match number 4. Alright, and we are back for match number 4 on the play. Do like this hand, because you can find a 7-drop that's a turn 2 Karn, and that is very strong. We also have a turn 1 Chalice on one, which is, I would say, arguably one of the most... I'd say probably one of the most powerful plays you can make in Modern at the moment, with a lot of 1-drops running around. Alright, let's reveal the Devour. Trigger on the stack. Well, not what we're looking for. The Thought-Knot Seer might not be bad, but it's not great either. The Cavernous Souls or Talisman might not be bad either for green sources, so let's go Talisman. Devourer, Chalice on 1, and pass. So the Karn on 3. Meticulous Archive tapped. We know they don't have Force. Alright. Alright, well, unless they do something interesting here, I think we play Karn. Otherwise, I guess we could go Forge if it's 2 untapped blue sources. Yeah, 2 untapped blue sources. Well, let's go ahead and tuck the dust. Play Forge. Does Forge resolve? I didn't think so, but it was worth a shot. So this is Jeskai. Likely Jeskai Control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Narset Parter Veils, yes. So I imagine they have Days Undoing in their deck. Well, let's play the Mine. And let's go ahead and cast Karn. Do you have a Force? Subtlety. Getting rid of the Sink and the Stupor. I will put it on top and pass. Let's see what they do here. Imagine take down a Narset. Timeless Dragon, that's interesting to see. Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Yep. Narset tick down. Days Undoing, there it is. Now let's go ahead and play Karn. There's the counterspell. So they will cast Days Undoing on their turn, most likely. One, two, three, four, five, six. End step. Let's return Devour to hand. This is a risk, but let's take it. Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily get them the result they wanted. Oh, it does, though. Because now we can't draw. Oh, boy. That does complicate things. Because they have me in a lock now. Yeah, once I'm empty-handed, they have me in a permanent lock. So what's the solution here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, the Days Undoing leaves me with 1 card. Yikes. Double yikes. So now I need... What do I need? I can't go empty-handed. Going empty-handed results in a loss. And of course, that's the one card I needed, but I was... If they wouldn't have got rid of the Talisman, I could have done something with that. I was going to return Dust, but now it's worthless. Gotta be joking. I'll have to get rid of the Devourer after all. What can we get out of this? One, two, three, four, five, six. We're one short now. I have to return Allah's Dust. So that way I have a choice in the matter of what we give up. We'll give up the Allah's Dust. And now we have to wait till their end step. Snapcaster. I can't draw right now is the problem. Yeah, so I think we know Days Undoing's in there. Let's do it on upkeep. So maybe we want to exile, force their hand. No, we really do need to ramp. Alright, let's go for it. I imagine, though, they're going to have a counter spell. Yep, okay. So we're locked out of the game at this point. I'm just going to force in the burn time. Annoying. Yep. Yeah, not much I can do about this lock. At the very least, this will get their time below mine, which is relevant. Especially in potentially longer matchups like this. Guess they're going to internalize. Yep. Butter, please, not right now. You can sit in my lap if it makes you feel better. Actually, if it makes you cause us mischief. Well, it will be over, but we will have regained a little bit of time on the clock. Alright. Last attack coming in. And that will be the game. Alright, so this is Jeskai Control. Loss in game 1. As far as this is concerned, Leveler in, Stonebrain in. And let's run it back. Labyrinth consigned to memory, so we have to play around that now. Trying to think what else they'll bring in. I imagine maybe some Charmaws. They are playing red. Well, I guess we'll find out shortly. Revenant on the play for game 2. This hand feels slow, but it might not be bad. But is it too slow? One of these was a 7-drop would be good. We'll mulligan. Lab and Temple would be good here. But not good enough. Down to 5. We'll keep this. Drop the Forge. Drop the Command. Keep the Thought Knot. And reveal Devourer. Hoping for a Temple. There's the Temple. So unless they have a Consign, we can at least get a card on board. And also, I guess maybe I should have kept the Command. Yeah, probably should have. Well, we'll be able to disrupt their hand at least. Yeah, I should have probably kept the Command. Narset, Days Undoing, Cryptic Command. I mean, probably want to take the Timeless Dragon, actually. That means they're going to be short on mana and on the wrong colors. Ugh, of course they would draw into this Tarn. Best case scenario for them. I'll play the Stony Silence, I imagine. Another Devourer. Arena Glory will come in untapped. They can play Narset. They'll tick down. No, they won't. Means that they're thinking about Days Undoing instead. That'll be their entire turn, though. For that reason, I think we go after you. Arid Mesa. They could always bounce Thought Knot back. One land will be able to play Devourer. Five, 7, 0. I actually might return Devour to hand depending on what we draw if this Days Undoing. Oh, I'll be damned. Wait. Didn't. Okay, thankfully doesn't matter. Oh, that's annoying. I pressed 0 and it ignored it. Frustrating. Okay. Well, still frustrating. Thankfully I didn't kick it. Also, I can say that these are no longer in their hand. Guess it was a good thing we didn't return Devourer after all. I wonder, go after you or go after Narset? Let's put Lethal on board. need to do something about what's on the board right now. Let me actually ensure I have the ability to respond. Just in case. There's a force. Not really worried about force. Let's return the Devour to hand. You have an orange chant? Snapcaster chant. Yes, you do. Means you're going to kick it as well. Yep, that is unfortunate. Play the Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi, make it uncounterable. Pass the turn. We're so close. Can't do anything here. Yeah, those orange chants have been key, to say the least. There's a counter spell. I'm not too upset about that. The Cavernous Souls will mitigate that potential risk. They'll need a consign to memory to deal with the cast trigger. Okay, Flooded Strand. Okay, do you have another orange chant? Dust. Well, let us go white. And that should be 7. Snapcaster. Do you have the consign to memory? Otawara on the Thought-Knot. Yes. It's probably better for me not to play the Thought-Knot, because they'll have the counter spell. I guess a good question is, how many basics do we think they play? This could be a wild Hail Mary. They would need an island. Do you have the basic island? Or are you too greedy? Oh, they do. It was worth a shot. Cycle. They're desperate. They find what they need. Go to attacks. There's Snap. I don't have access to Counterspell. Means trying to get this dust to resolve is probably not right. Because ideally I was going to go dust and then try and play Forge. You know what? That doesn't really do much for me. I don't think it really will convince them to do anything either. Let's just proceed. Really, going down to 1, so fetches are no longer usable. Imagine a scry land here. No? Okay. Another Narset. Okay. Taking down Narset, I'd imagine. Trying to find a solution. And we got there. Whew. Bit of a close one, but we don't. Now can say SRT. It's very possible it may have been revealed to me in game 1 that they had a basic island, but I need to know for certain there. Chalice on 1. I don't know. Like, it hits Orm's Chant. It can sometimes get some cards out, but I wonder if it might not be worth having. Probably isn't. Bring back in the Myco Spawns, bring in a Haywire Mite, and also this Dust. Yeah, I think that's probably more accurate to what my sideboard plan should be. Do I have a sideboard guide for Jeskai? No. It's not seeing a lot of play right now, so I do not. But we're on the draw for game number 2. This hand is not keepable. This hand, however, is. Let's drop the tower. Reveal the Devourer. What do we find? Haywire Mite's not doing much. None of this is doing much. So we'll bin it all. Draw a fresh card, which apparently is another lab. Unfortunate. We need to hope now that they don't have something to get rid of this talisman. Because ideally we play the Myco Spawn, and then we grab the Cavernous Souls. An Orm's Chant would be a little bit annoying. Okay, Warping Well. Do you have the Consign to Memory? I'm gonna grab a Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. That resolves. Okay. Do wonder about this Warping Whale, though I think it's better for us to hold up for a Day's Undoing. Did think about ramping into a Devourer, but I think we hold back on that. No mana for Charmaw. They're going to do something but realize they didn't have the right mana. Interesting. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Orm's Chant. That's fine. Found all of our labs. They didn't kick it because they can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can play the Devourer next turn if we want. And if they do Orange Chant us, we can just tuck it back underneath the lab. That's fine. They must have been short a land. Yeah, short a land better. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I will have enough. What do you play here? It's a bit annoying, but also not the end of the world. Like, there are worse things for us to lose out on right now, so this is fine. I will actually still return the Devour to hand. Because we draw into a temple, we can play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So let's return it to hand regardless. Worst comes to worst, we just tuck it underneath another lab. Alright, let's tuck it underneath another lab. Go to combat. Well, I guess I could have played it. Yeah, I could have played it, but probably would have been the right move in retrospect. Because we could have tucked the All Is Dust and then played the Devour. Yeah, that's a dumb mistake on my part. Wouldn't have had lethal though, so might not be a bad idea. We sat on it, I guess. Alright, let's return the Devour. Having the Dust also might not be bad. Another Devourer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no imprint. Let's go to combat. Well, this will be lethal on board. Nope. Color. Alright, what you got, friend? I'm going to imagine we see a sweeper here, either that or a Solitude. Solitude would be good for them. Command. Okay. Not the end of the world. Still have lethal. I'm kind of thinking we hold back this Devourer and hold up this Warping Whale. Because that shows me that they're desperate. Yes, Potter. You want lap time? Yeah. Why would they not hold the Otawara? That confuses me a bit. Another Warping Whale. Let's go to combat. You have another trick up your sleeve. I'm waiting for the Solitude. Yep, there's the Solitude. And I imagine you block the Sowing Myco spawn. I guess maybe you don't need to, because it has lifelink. Not sure if that was the right move for them. Well, we need to continue putting pressure on board. I guess maybe they're worried about this exact same scenario. Henge. Historic card, put the rest on the bottom. Would mainly be a Planeswalker or Flage, I guess. Flage goes after me, they'll gain some life. Worm's Chant kicked. Yep. Well, let's try it. Oh, I can't cast anything. Duh. So you're going, why can't I not tap my lands? I'm gonna play the Flage. Yeah, not being a turn earlier might actually kick me in the end. If I would have cast the Devourer when we drew into the All Is Dust, I think you may have had them just one turn earlier. Rough. Stonebrain. Let's attempt a All Is Dust. There goes the counter spell. I will not attack. Will they attack? Yes. So we'll take the 9. Another temple. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In that case, let's take a look at what our opponent's playing. Maybe it no, they would have just brought it back the same turn. But we might be able to bait out a counter spell. Seriously. A force. We'll attack in. We'll take the 3 from the Flage attack trigger, but then be able to block with the whale. So attack trigger. Let's go ahead and cast Whale. Attack trigger resolves. Go to blockers. Block the Flage. Let me find a Flage. That is a slight problem. So now they have 2 attack triggers. Yeah, I think I unfortunately may have punted on whatever turn that was. Oof. That is less than ideal. So that was what, game 3? On turn, what turn was that even? It was a while ago. Let's see here. It was the turn before I played Devourer, so looks like turn 4. Should have chosen All is Dust with Ugin's activated ability. Yeah, so I think unfortunately that turn 4 play may have cost me. Rough. It's one of those moments of like, oh, here's my sequence, here's what I'm going to do if I don't do this. It's one of the things I will say that that's a bad habit. It's good because it means that I make faster plays. It's bad in that I sometimes stick too much to the pre-sequence of like, okay, I have my next turn mapped out, and I don't always account for the draw. It's probably the biggest source of my misplays is that I've already pre-sequenced my turn. I don't always think about the card I've drawn. So, especially if it affects my mana. So, bit of a mistake on my part, but that's why we practice, to make mistakes now and not make those mistakes when it matters. With that being said, we'll be back in a bit for match number 5. All right, and we are back for match number 5. On the draw, this hand is unfortunately a bit too slow, I think. This hand is interesting. I'll keep it, pitch the Whale, reveal both Devourers. We're looking for a tower, I think, would be ideal here. Ooh. Well, this could be a couple things, but what I can say with certainty is that it ain't good for me. They're about to dump their hand. Could be Colorless Affinity, could be Scales. There's a few things here. And I'm worried about all of them. Alright. Well, let's reveal the Devours. Triggers on the stack. Fortunately, if this is Colorless Affinity, this does nothing. Well, let's go with the Eldrazi Temple. Play the Temple. I'm actually wondering here. Yeah, let's go ahead and exile Scry, because this allows them to generate colored source. I guess anything allows them to generate colored source, but it's 1 less mana for them. And 1 less mana might be enough. On turn 3, we'll be able to play Thought Knot. Okay, looks like that was enough. Turn 3, 4, and 5. There's the Mem Knights. They're back on 2 mana now. Pure Steel Paladin? Is this hammer time? That's my only initial thought. Mox Opal, okay. It's not playing Flesh Raker, they wouldn't be able to cast it. Sojourner's Companion. Yeah. Well, let's take a look. Companion alone isn't going to be doing too much here. Yeah, let's... How much toughness? 4. Yeah, we need to get rid of that Flesh Raker. That is actually a huge concern. We'll be able to play the Enforcer. That much is certain. Not likely to block here. Yeah, I'll just take the 4. I do not want to give you more cards than I need to. Saga. Well, we'll be able to play the Frog Might Enforcer. Another Temple. Oh, just gonna create a blocker at this point. Like I said, I'm not inclined to give them free draws, just set up blockers for now, and hope we might be able to cast this Devourer soon. So that way we can block. Thing is, they also have the ability to make a construct. They'll need to keep one of them untapped. Yeah, so they're going to not attack. Dust. That does not do it. One short for these Devourers. They'll go ahead and make a construct, and it's going to be a bit of a biggin. Yeah, that 8/8 is scary. A Karn wouldn't be bad here. Karn on 0. Or Karn tick down. Oh. They're going to be able to swift up. Are they going to be able to get boots on? Yeah, they'll be able to get boots on. Ooh. That's problem. Yeah. I have to be careful here. I can triple block, take 15 down to 2. That's not an option. I can single block, single block, single block. That doesn't feel like a good option either. 10 down to 6. I can't not block. It's the problem. Get home 3 cards feels god awful though. Taking the 4 is right. Down to 12. Yep, target you. Well, there's the temple. We can go ahead and play another blocker at least. Fortunately, no targets on the exile. So this is Colorless Affinity. No block, or no attacks rather. We're going to need to dedicate everything to blocks. Not sure what we're going to be able to do here though is the problem. What in the fresh hell? Okay, Mystic Forge, yep. I guess Kozilek's command would be the best case scenario. Surprised they didn't attack with a Frogmite Enforcer. Would have forced me to block here. Can they make another artifact at instant speed? I don't think so. So we might just block like this. But also giving them a card might not mean much. At least not this, right? Yeah, we'll block. So we need a Kozilek's command. That is not a Kozilek's command. Yeah, so that is lethal on board. Okay. So this is Colorless Affinity. Chalice is good here. Leveler is good. Dismember is necessary. I think so too is Stone Brain actually. Because we need to remove those glaring flesh rakers from the equation. The thing is they dump their hand so quickly that I'm not sure Thought Knot is good, whereas Mycospawn might be better. It's hard to say. Alright. I mean, Chalice is good, but this hand otherwise is kind of garbage. Devour makes it better. I will keep it. Having Chalice on 0 will slow them significantly, then a Chalice on 1 immediately after. Should slow them down enough. And if we can find a lab with Devour, we can ramp a bit earlier. Eldrazi Temple. I will take the Temple. Yeah, Chalice and Zero on the play is very strong against this deck. Play the Temple. Chalice on 1. Yeah, the Kozilek's command in case they do end up playing the Glaring Flesh Raker. Yep. But they do not play it. Okay. Could be a Kozilek's command, X equals 2. Yeah, it's looking like it. Let's see what they play thereafter. They bottom both cards they saw. The Saga is a problem. Mystic Forge? Yep. Warping Whale. Actually, I'm curious. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we could find Karn. Yeah, screw it. We're gonna go X equals 4 and try and find Karn. Well, there's Karn. The Devour really doesn't do anything. And top. So this means that they'll not be able to activate Forge, and looks like those concede out. Alright. On to game 3 then. On the draw for game 3. One 7 drop would make this hand so much better. We could risk it. Chalice is good here, but they're going to dump their hand. Ugh. I'll keep. Go Temple, hold up Command, play Chalice on 0, Tower, play Impulse. Alright. We're down to 5, which makes this Thought Not Seer that much better. Yeah, them just dumping their hand. That's why on the play 0 is so good. They don't have any 1-drops though, it seems. This actually might work out in my favor. Here's why. Go Chalice on 0. I'm going to scry and exile and rob them of their mana. They didn't play a land. Which means now they won't have the ability to actually cast anything. That 7-drop changes everything. So now we can play Thought Knot. Ugh, of course. End up finding the Darksteel Citadel after all. Let's imprint the dust and then cast the Thought Knot. I can't use the Mishra's Bauble. Mern Forcer and Glaring Fleshraker. Well, they currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're off by... I'm trying to test my new stuff. Watching you play Tron makes me wish I just played Tron. It is a fun deck. Been testing out the new lists. Yeah, apparently they're testing new stuff, but watching me play Tron makes them wish they were playing Tron. So yeah, I think we take the Fleshraker. I don't know. If they find a land, be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the Fleshraker needs to go. The Fleshraker overall is a problem. Let's cast the Talisman. We should have enough mana at this point to start exiling whatever they play. So let's see, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we're close on that. Name Eldrazi. And I think we're just with Thought Not Beats at this point. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're one short, so I think on end step we will Kozilek's Command. Alright, end step. Let's go ahead and cast Kozilek's Command. There's the breaker. We don't need the power plant. You don't need that. Let's grab the breaker and close this out. All right, well, let's end it. This has been fun, friend. And you and I can definitely share our enjoyment of Tron. But breaker should put a nail in the coffin. Well, I can see him to talk. Alright, well, with that being said, that there is the end of today's league. 3-2 at the end of it all. Definitely finding good ways to play around Colorless Affinity, even in moments like that, where kind of felt bad on the draw, but had some good heads-up plays. But with that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, it is always appreciated if you do hit that. Also, I guess it closed me out of the game. Didn't realize it did that sometimes. But before I get distracted, as always, if you guys did enjoy the video, it is much appreciated. Do hit that like button, comment down below if you did see any misplays that I did not note myself, any lines that I could have done a bit differently. As much as I do hope that you guys learn from my gameplay, both in my successes and failures, I hope to learn from you guys as well. And as always, if you did get to this point in the video, it is much appreciated and it really does help out the channel if you do hit that subscribe button. We are on track for being able to monetize this channel. Right now, like my estimation was 300 days. It's getting shorter and shorter with how much you guys are watching these videos, which I do really appreciate. The only metric that I am a little bit concerned about is our subscriber numbers, as we do need to hit 500 subscribers. So it would be really awesome if we do hit that goal before we hit the milestone for the watch hours. But with that being said, folks, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!